Hey there guys, Simply H here again. Welcome back to my channel, or I should rather say thank you for sticking around for so long after me not posting anything for a very long time. Basically, yeah, I'm back. It's been a while since last I made a video for YouTube. I was in South Africa for holiday. I've moved house. I've written exams. I've been all around the country of England, obviously, and then yeah, so I'm back again. As you can see, new setting, new place, and as promised in my first video, I mentioned to the nerd of the 80s, because he gave me a challenge of coming up with a top 10 list of movies that I enjoyed from the 90s, and I've got to hand it to you. I don't know how these guys do these top 10s. I was born in the 80s and mostly watched kiddie type films in the 80s, but the 90s are my formative years, if I can put it that way, of film. And yeah, it was not easy to come up with a list of 10. So the best I could do was a list of 12. And to make it even more lazy, I didn't do it in a particular order. I basically just went with the movies that I just... I try to think back at movies that I enjoyed at the time, and that if I were to watch it again, or since I do watch some of these still today sometimes, I figured that is the criteria for my list. So yeah, Nerd of the 80s, go check out his channel. He's got lots of geeky stuff, movie reviews, food reviews, comic hauls, all things like that. At the moment he's slowed down a bit, but there's plenty of content on his channel for you to go check out while he's on his break. So yeah, without further ado, I think I'm gonna go with my list of movies that I chose. I have to say, again, I can't put it to number 1 or number 10 or what have you, but yeah, here goes. So my first movie from the 90s that I really will watch again and have watched in the recent past again is The Matrix. Definitely one of my favorites, and to me it still stands. It's still something that I think is relevant today, and yeah, I really enjoyed the film when it came out. I still enjoy the film to this day. The next one that I chose was Pulp Fiction. I thought I was a really big, or I think I'm a really big Tarantino fan. But yes, that's obviously the film that kicked it off for me as far as Tarantino goes. Every other film I watched of his was because of this film. Then typical 90s, a lot of friends and buddies hanging around. And I would still watch this movie today if I can get my hands on it. The Mask by Jim Carrey. Obviously enjoyed that one. Somebody stop there. Mighty Ducks is my next choice. Really enjoyed it. It's got the whole Disney sports type movie vibe to it. And yeah, that was definitely also one that we used to watch together as a bunch of friends in the neighborhood I grew up in. And yeah, because we enjoyed our yard sports, if we can put it that way. Another one that comes up in the same line, which I didn't write down here, is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. How are you this afternoon? Alrighty then. Well, that is definitely one of my favorite 90s films. Another one that we used to watch over and over and over until the tape stretched. Because yes, kids, those days we watched movies on tape. Desperado came out in 97. Another movie that I really enjoyed as part of my formative years. Silence of the Lambs, obviously can't go wrong with old Hannibal Lecter. Hello, Clarice. I did not realize this, but one of the next two movies are both play the same actor in it. And I didn't realize that I was such a fanboy, but anyway, the first one I'm going to mention is Seven, about the 7 deadly sins with Brad Pitt, and also Fight Club, also obviously Brad Pitt and Edward Norton. So those two are really big on my list of movies that I have watched in the recent past again and still enjoy watching. Can't go wrong with Forrest Gump. Was one of the greater films from the 90s. Another one that a lot of people will forget or you don't see many references anymore today, but The Usual Suspects with Kaiser Soze. I don't know if you remember that one, but I really enjoyed that film. Another one that I enjoyed and that I recently purchased as well, because I had to introduce my wife to it, was Fallen, with Denzel Washington. Time is by my side. Yes, it is. That was really a good film. And then finally, I know there's some other YouTubers out there that love to hate or hate to love. I don't know which way to put it. But came out in the 90s. Definitely was a groundbreaking film for me. And I thought it was real for a very long time. And still watch it today, still get a bit creeped out, but obviously with all the little the spoof films that came since, it lost some of that flair. But at the time it was groundbreaking, and there wasn't many like it out there. The Blair Witch Project was definitely one of my favorite films from the 90s. Again, I don't know how you guys do this, where you make top 10 films and things like that. And again, 90s were my formative years. I couldn't choose 10, as I said. I think I'm on to 13 now after I added the extra one. But I can't think of any. There's so many more films, that I can think of that belong on a list of movies from the 90s. But in the 2 hours I waited for the bus today from London, and the 3-hour trip over here, those were the best I could come up with for you. Thank you so much for the challenge again. I don't envy anybody that has to make lists like these all the time, because there's so many great things out there, and you almost feel like you there's so much you're leaving out, and there's so much you're not thinking about at the time, and you're like, but what about this one? What about that one? But anyway, that's my list. I'm sticking to it just to go through it again. Matrix, Pulp Fiction, The Mask, Ace Ventura, Mighty Ducks, Desperado, Silence of the Lambs, Seven, Forrest Gump, Fight Club, The Usual Suspects, Fallen, and Blair Witch. Then I thought, with a comeback to my channel, I thought that I want to do something or try something, and what I want to try is that trying to do some sort of like a daily vlog for you guys, for you to come into my life and see what it's about. I had a chat with a friend of mine that I went to high school with, and there's so much that we forget, and there's so many things that we go through, and we kind of like, when you meet up with someone after many years and you have this recollection of what you've been through and what you've been doing and where you've been and all that stuff, but you can never really remember everything. So I figured that I'm getting a bit older now, I'm getting a bit on, and I'd like to remember a lot of the things that happened to me. So what I've decided I want to do is I want to try and do like daily affirmation type of thing, where I say one good thing that happened to me for the day, one bad thing that happened to me for the day, one good thing that happened, one bad thing that happened, and what did I learn for today. So basically today's good thing is I wrote my last exam for this year, and that means I've got about a month or month and a half off until I have to start studying again for the next exams in the middle of next year. But I'm very happy, and I'm very, very blessed, which is now my part that I'm thankful for, what have you, my lesson for the day. I'm very blessed to actually have the opportunity to study and to be able to take things a bit further in chasing my dreams and getting to where I want to be. The bad thing for the day, my patience was tested today in a very real way. Basically, while we were waiting for the bus, I waited about 2 hours for the bus, and there was another couple of people that were there about half an hour after me, so on and so forth. So there were about 8 of us standing that had been there for quite some time waiting for the bus, and this one woman just came up to the front and stood right in front of the door as if to be the first one to get into the bus. And that just grated my nana, because at the end of the day, I'm the first guy to let people in front of me, and I'm courteous and all those things when it comes to just in life in general. In fact, it irritates my wife that I always stand out the way for people to walk in front of me and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, that's how I was raised. That's the person I am. But today, I lost my patience a little bit, and I told the lady that, listen, you know what, there's these old people that have been sitting here for an hour and a half. There's 6, 7 other people, including me, that have been here for way longer than you. How do you think that you can just come stand in the front of the line and get onto the bus first? Not that I could have probably left it, but I don't know, at that point in time, it was just the moral of it, man. It was just so wrong. And the best part is she doesn't even care. She didn't flinch, nothing like that. Obviously, I didn't get into an argument with her or anything like that. I wasn't mean or rude. Inside of me, I could have spat venom at her if I wanted to, but obviously I didn't. But yeah, that was just something that was a real dampener, and it made me realize that, you know what, at the end of the day, there's so many people out there that just don't care about the people around them, and not everybody is like me, and I know that, and I understand that. But come on, there must be like some sort of moral code or fairness, man. So anyway, long story short, I ended up in front of her, and I let the old people that were there just after me in front of me, so that at least I could win the battle for the 3 of us. The other 5 or 6 people that were waiting there, well, they unfortunately got on after her. And again, it's so minor thinking back to it now, but yeah, at the time it obviously didn't feel minor. So yeah, that's my negative for the day, was losing my cool with some lady that's just damn rude. My positive for the day is finishing my exams. I suppose the lesson I could also learn for today is, thinking back to that lady's story, is that there's things that grate you when you're in that moment or at that time, and later on when you think about it or you reflect on it, it's really not that bad as it seemed at the time. Because I'm sitting here now thinking, I could have just left it. I could have just let her get on the bus first. It wouldn't have made a difference, because where I sit, nobody really wants to sit, because I like to sit right at the back of the bus, next to the toilet door, because there's space for my legs, and also there's very little chance of somebody wanting to sit next to me. So and the seats there, on some buses it's 3, but on most buses it's only 2, so they actually have spaces in between. So if somebody were to come sit next to me, we're not going to be on top of each other either. So that is why that's the one I always go for in the bus. But the point is that, I mean, fair is fair. There's people that have been there for way longer than her. Or the point is that it's all trivial, and not to get your knickers in a knot about somebody that's jumping a queue. So those are 3 of the things that I want to do on my daily videos. I also want to choose a song of the day. I've got this idea in my head that I want to have a playlist of songs that I enjoy. So given my top 10 or my 90s movie list, one of the songs that came to mind that's actually playing in my head as we speak, it's very fitting that it's playing in my head as we speak, is the Pixies' Where Is My Mind, which is the song at the end of the Fight Club movie. So that's what I'm going to add on to that as well. So I'm going to try and do, at least, if anything, if I do nothing else each day, I want to go with one positive, one negative, what did I learn, and a song of the day. So yeah, this was vlog day 1. Again, go check out Nerd of the 80s. Go check out his channel. Maybe you can learn a thing or two about pop culture and nerd culture. I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing of things. It feels a bit rocky today because obviously it's my first one back in the seat again. So it's going to take a few goes for me to get into it again. I'm obviously going to do a room tour for you at some stage, so you can see what all the new additions to my life just before the big Christmas and birthday season. Also, yeah, that's basically it. We'll see what else comes. So yeah, this was day 1 of the vlog. Simply H. Again, if you like what you saw, subscribe, hit the like button. If you don't like what you saw, by all means hit the dislike button. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's anything else you want to add to the list of things I want to do daily, or that you'd like to see daily. And yeah, that's basically it, man. Thank you so much for watching. And again, for those of you who stuck around, I know I lost a few guys during the time I was away, but I also gained a few guys during that time. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, behind me there's a whole bunch of stuff that I've got put aside for my giveaway. I figure that when I've comfortably hit 100 subscribers, I will do a giveaway. At the moment, I think I'm on 87, so I'm going to go for about, let's call it 115, 120. Once I hit that goal, I'm going to do a quick giveaway of the few things that I have put together over the last year. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for your time. Copy you later.